It all began on a Friday evening, a night that seemed ordinary at first. She told me she wanted to go out with her friends, just a casual night of fun, she said, laughing as if it were innocent. I trusted her. I always did. After all, we had been together for 3 years, shared dreams, holidays, countless late-night talks, and promises that sounded eternal. But something in her eyes that evening made me pause, a flicker of restlessness I couldn't ignore. I shrugged it off, convincing myself it was nothing, telling myself trust was everything in a relationship. She left wearing that red dress, the one I always thought made her glow. She kissed me on the cheek, whispered, "Don't wait up," and disappeared into the night. I went to bed early, pretending to sleep, waiting for her to return, imagining she'd come back laughing, tipsy, talking about the fun she had. Hours passed. The clock ticked relentlessly. Midnight came, then 1, then 2, and still, she did not return. My phone buzzed with a message. I picked it up, heart beating fast, and read, "Don't worry about me. I'm with someone." The words hit me like a physical blow. The betrayal was immediate, sharp, and undeniable. The person she was with was someone I had met before, someone I trusted. Anger and grief collided in my chest, and for the first time, I saw her clearly. The love I thought was mutual was a lie, a delicate illusion I had been nurturing while she shattered it without remorse. I waited for her call, for an explanation, for anything. But there was silence, a silence louder than any scream. When she finally came home hours later, I confronted her. I remember her smirk, the careless way she tried to justify it as a mistake, as if my heart could be mended with weak words. I looked at her, really looked at her, and I realized I could never see her the same way again. I told her simply, clearly, with the weight of everything I had felt that night, "Leave. Forever." She cried, begged, pleaded, but I walked away. I left her in the apartment that had once been our sanctuary. I left her there with the echoes of laughter and shared memories that now felt hollow. That night, I made a choice to protect myself, to reclaim my dignity, to refuse to be the man she could hurt without consequence. Years passed. I moved cities, changed jobs, rebuilt myself in ways I didn't know I could. I dated, I lived, I learned to smile without thinking of her. And yet, every so often, a memory would pierce my calm, the sight of her red dress, the sound of her laugh, the way she whispered my name in a moment that was supposed to be ours. Pain lingered, but it became a quiet companion, not a constant tormentor. Then one evening, as I was finishing dinner at a small cafe downtown, my phone buzzed. A name flashed on the screen. I didn't recognize it immediately. She had somehow found me. Against all the advice of my heart, I answered. Her voice was unsteady, trembling with a mixture of fear and desperation. "Please. I need to talk to you. I was wrong. I've been wrong for years. I need your forgiveness." I felt a strange, chilling calm. The same calm I had felt the night I told her to leave. I listened as she recounted the years, her life full of regret, mistakes, and failed relationships. She said she had thought she could live without me, that she could find happiness in other arms, but each time she tried, it ended in pain. She admitted to nights of crying herself to sleep, nights haunted by my memory, nights wishing she had chosen differently. Part of me wanted to scream, to rage at her, to remind her of the night she destroyed everything. Another part, a smaller, vulnerable part, felt the old ache, the familiarity of a love that had once consumed me. But the voice I had built over years of healing was stronger. I remembered the betrayal, the loneliness, the silent nights of rebuilding my life. I remembered the strength it had taken to walk away, and I knew that forgiving her now would be a betrayal of myself. I stayed silent for a long moment, letting the weight of our shared past hang between us. Then I spoke, carefully, deliberately. "I hear you. I understand your regrets. But I am no longer the man you left behind. I am not yours to forgive, and you are not mine to save. We have lived different lives. What you seek, it is too late." Her sobs filled the line, but I didn't falter. I felt a strange peace in that moment, a confirmation that my life belonged to me, not to the shadows of someone else's choices. She begged, pleaded, promised she would change, promised she would make it right. I let her speak, and then, gently, I ended the call. Not with anger, not with hate, but with the quiet finality of a chapter that had already ended years ago. I hung up and sat for a long time, feeling the weight lift from my shoulders. The years of grief, of anger, of longing, seemed to dissolve into nothingness. I realized that walking away that night had saved me, had allowed me to live fully, without the chains of betrayal. I had forgiven myself, and in doing so, I had found freedom. Life moved on. I focused on my work, my friends, my passions. I met people who respected me, loved me genuinely, and valued the trust one gave. I smiled without guilt, laughed without hesitation, and slept without nightmares of betrayal. And though the memory of her never fully left me, it no longer held power over me. It became a lesson, a reminder of the strength I carried within, a testament to the man I had become. Years later, I realized that some people are not meant to return to our lives, no matter how much they regret. Some mistakes are irreversible, and some betrayals are too deep to ever forget. And that night, her night of fun, had set in motion a journey I never would have chosen, but one I now knew had made me stronger, wiser, and unbreakable. She had begged for forgiveness, but I had given myself something far more precious: closure, peace, and the unshakable knowledge that I would never allow anyone to diminish my worth again.